This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
All right, folks, how you doing? This is Captain Jack here, and I am joined by some very, very special guests. I didn't want to keep them backstage very often because they're saying, like, why the hell do we got to listen to the autumn wind for like 2.5 minutes? But it's a great piece. It's a great piece. And so I am, before we talk anything Raiders, because these gentlemen were kind enough to be on my show tonight, I want to introduce Bengal Jim in the center, who was on a winning team last week, and Mookie Buck. Again, I not that was directed right at you, Mookie, but I had to differentiate between folks that are here going to be on one more week, and that will be Bengal Jim and Mookie Bucks, who is in Vegas. Why they have a Bucks fan in Vegas, I have no friggin' clue, but I can't wait to see him when I get out there for the draft and hopefully see Bengal Jim and all that as well. And again, you are watching on Roku TV, so I can tell my friends here, and I know that Jim won't swear on me because although he's a Bengals fan, he's got about 30 years worth of swearing that he could have gotten out of his system. So I'm figuring that's for 2 weeks he's gotten that all out of his system, so we're good to go. Now with Mookie, again, I got to say, you're watching on Roku TV, so we got to watch our language here. Gentlemen, again, my appreciation for having you guys on here. You don't know jack about sports until you watch on this channel. And again, thank you for being here. And again, Jim, please don't get in an accident.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Okay, because I've done a live video while driving as well, and it's something that I don't condone nor say that I do. Just keep your eye on the road. Just keep smiling and answering the questions, and Mookie will get with you as well. And again, I want to say congratulations to the Cincinnati Bengals. I like their last win a lot better than their first win in the playoffs this year, but that goes without saying. And again, for Mookie as well, we're going to talk about both entertaining games that we had this weekend. In fact, this past weekend's playoff games were undoubtedly, and I'm not just saying this because it's fresh in the mind, but undoubtedly all four games in one weekend were probably the most entertaining playoff football that we've had for years. And I can't remember a weekend much like that. So it was fantastic. Jim, again, first off, the winners go the spoils. So we start with you, sir. The Bengals going to the AFC Championship game this weekend. And your thoughts on your team and how that they can first off, anything you want to talk about with your team, and then we'll talk about what you think is going to be the game plan of the Bengals against a juggernaut in the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, welcome to the show, Jim.
Hey, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Good seeing you guys. If we're getting an echo here, man, let me know. I can sign off and get back in. I sound okay?
Yeah, you're good. Mookie, you sound good.
Okay.
You sound good. Yeah.
Okay. Man, I tell you what, guys, I appreciate you having me on, man. We're four quarters away from a Super Bowl, guys. And you know that the Cincinnati Bengals hadn't won a playoff game in 31 years. We hadn't been to the Super Bowl since 88, season 89 Super Bowl. I'm telling you right now, the city of Cincinnati is out of freaking control right now. It's everywhere you go, every news channel, every radio station. It is Bengals mania right now in Cincinnati. And, getting to the Kansas City game, I'll tell you, nobody's picking us to win, and that's how it's been all year. We weren't supposed to beat you guys the first game of the playoffs. We weren't supposed to beat Tennessee, and nobody's picking us to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who we beat in Week 17. So I don't know. I really like this team because they're playing the underdog role. They've been playing it all year. Nobody's picked us to win anything. And this team just quietly, just confidently just keeps moving on and finding ways to win. It's going to be a tough battle to beat Kansas City at Kansas City. But, guys, there's just something telling me this team always just finds a way to get things done. I don't know how the hell we beat Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs, in Kansas City. But something tells me they're going to find a way to do it. I don't know how, but they've done it all damn year, guys.
For sure. And again, if I'm not mistaken, I was at the game when you guys beat Kansas City and Cincinnati. Or sorry, we beat Kansas City and Cincinnati, and I was sitting in the stadium. It was either in Indy or it was in Las Vegas, and I was like, "Wait a second, the Bengals they won." I mean, and we saw how it was because you guys were down. I think it was like 21-7 early. Again, if I'm misquoting, it's only based upon memory. You were down 21-7, and then it was bang, 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 bang. These wonderful passes to Jamar Chase, who just outran everybody. And the last time I looked, Jamar Chase is still going to be playing for you. And the Chiefs are actually hurting in their secondary with Tyrann Mathieu. I'm allegedly out of the game, so that bodes well for you. It's the same team. It's on the same type of field. It's on a turf field. Again, it's in Kansas City. It's in cold weather, and you guys don't mind that. So, what makes this game different? For you, I mean, again, Kansas City's coming off of 2 straight Super Bowl appearances, but you guys are the upstart. You guys are the underdogs, and even Joe Burrow stated, "I'm tired of being the underdog and get used to this team winning."
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that right now. It's just, the Chiefs seem to be pretty confident about this game in some of their comments in the media. I think the one thing right now, Cap, that gets overlooked, everybody's talking about Joe Burrow and our receiving core, the trio that we got there. The one thing that nobody talks about is our defense. I don't know what's really different about this game other than us being in Kansas City. I know we're going to have about 20,000 strong come in, Bengal fans. We're going to have a massive, amount of Bengal fans there. But I don't know, man. I don't know what's different other than just playing in Kansas City. We're as healthy as we can be. We've been missing our starting right tackle for the past month and a half. We've been missing one of our best linebackers pretty much half the season. But other than that, we're coming into the game fairly healthy. So I don't think there's any difference other than us playing in Kansas City right now. And Joe Burrows talks about, he's played in louder stadiums in SEC than he's played in anywhere in the NFL. And I think that's kind of fired up the Kansas City fan base right now. But I don't think there's really, other than venue, stadium, I don't think there's anything different. And I know the Kansas City Chiefs want to win this game. The Bengals, when we played them in week 17, they played an awful first half, like you said. They were down 14-0, then 21-7, then 28-14. And then the second half, Joe Burrow and that receiving core and Jamar Chase just lit them up. The Kansas City defense doesn't scare me, guys. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. So I don't want to match these guys score for score and score 40 points to win a game. But I like this matchup better than I like the Bengals versus Bills matchup, believe it or not. So I don't know, man. This is going to be an interesting weekend of football all around.
Okay. Well, I will take that under advisement as well. I'm going to go to Mookie. Mookie, I'm supposed to be talking about I'm going to be kind to you because you're my guest, brother. So I'm going to call them the Bucks. I will be kind. I'm going to call them the Bucks. You guys know I call them the fake Pirates. You know that. I know that. Everybody else knows that. But because I got a guest on, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are supposed to be hosting the NFC Championship game this year. Okay. And they came that close to doing it again, okay? And I know you saw my Facebook, which was it was a very nasty aha that I had ready. I had that written at halftime. But I knew better. I said, you don't post anything, you don't gloat until there's 2 girls across the clock and your team has won. So I waited and waited and waited. And then Cooper Kupp fumbles the ball. They're down 24 points, and Cooper Kupp fumbles the ball. Now it's 24-10. And then something else happens. Now it's 24-17. And then I'm like, oh my God, am I witnessing it again? And I'm sure even Jim's thinking that SOB has got one more ride in him, and it's happening right here. So when they go ahead and they tie it, and I'm looking for things that I can throw that's not going to bust anything in my house, because I don't like that person who shall remain nameless, because you know the rules of my show. That is a swear word on my show, so I will say princess. Okay, so princess comes back and they I can't imagine the fact that somebody let Mike Evans go, and it's their best cornerback. They let Mike Evans go, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Remember, I am on Roku TV, so I can't swear. So there you go. And somebody forgot to tell the Bucs secondary that the best receiver in football was named Cooper Kupp, and they had not one, but 2 receptions in the latter part of the fourth quarter, a 20-yard gain, I think, or about 15-yard gain, and then like a 47, and I couldn't believe the 47-yard. The first one maybe, okay, because he got it and got out of bounds. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. But when you split and go right up the hash marks for like a 47-yard gain, I got to hear from you, Mookie, what the hell was going through your mind, and how many things did you bust in your house?
Well, if you like, I'd like to show you my ankle, because it's about like this big from, jumping on my buddy's back at a celebration and then falling on it and, twisting it the wrong way just from the game and all the excitement. But that mindset and that particular play right there, after I see it all go down, I'm like, man, we all used to play Pop Warner football and know that prevent defense in these situations is key and number one for these matchups and these times and crucial parts of the game. And to see them not going to prevent and let that happen, like you said, with one of the best top 3 wide receivers in the game that just got done leading the league in reception yards, you're going to let him get that wide open is mind-boggling. But of course, the media comes back out and you do the press conferences and they say that there was some miscommunication in the play calling, which both of these coordinators are now up for head coaching positions. So, I mean, when you blow a play like that and you're up for a head coaching position, it kind of makes me scratch my head.
Yeah, but Todd Bowles didn't blow coverage.
No.
He wasn't on the field. He wasn't on the field.
Well, what they're saying is there was bad communication between the play callers, between the play calling. So that's why he's getting blamed for it. However, they're always going to point the finger, wherever they can. That there's other excuses as well. That, like you said, the blown coverage, it was on the players. But man, to see that comeback, it was. I thought we were going to pull it off, but then they go and they do something like that, and it's just like it was mind boggling. I really thought that there's just so much going on between. It was just so fast. It was like a blink of an eye, like you say, it's like 1 minute they were down the field and, they got 14 yards, 15 yards, went out of bounds. And then a blink of an eye, the field goal kicker's up ready to, kick a game winning field goal. And it's like, what the heck just happened? And then you look back at it and it's like 27-27 with 4 seconds left. That's an overtime game usually in a regular season, and it's like, that's why they say playoffs is a whole nother season. And we sat there and witnessed it all weekend long with all those games going into, going down to the wire with field goal kickers. So
Yeah, I was going to say, you are awesome because you got me to my next segue. I'm going to bounce this off of both of you, okay? Because I got to ask Jim, who is the recipient of that, like you said, and by the way, you can thank me because I'm a Florida Gator and your kicker is from the University of Florida, so you can thank me for that personally. It has nothing to do with the kicker. It's me, okay? I'm telling you, okay? It's not the kicker. It's me. You got the kick, and I tell you, McPherson is a fantastic kicker. I've seen him for all these years, and I knew he was going to be a great product in the NFL. You get him, and you have him there, okay? Now, granted, it didn't go to overtime. But I want to hear your thoughts because everybody won this week pre-overtime minus the last game. And that's why I want to have your expert opinions of two unbiased, because I know you're unbiased. You're only biased about your team, but two unbiased opinions about what overtime should be like in the playoffs, because I think there should be a change. And I'm going to start with the elder statesman, Jim, who's I'm sure he's a couple of years young. Well, I look older than him. I'm just saying that. I don't know how old he is, but I know I look a hell of a lot older than him. But I'm going to go to the elder statesman here because I know Mookie just probably got his driver's license about 15 minutes ago.
Hey,
I love you, Jay. I love you.
I'm offended by that. I have fake ID right now because I'm not old enough to drink, Cap. Come on. So it is funny, man, in that Kansas City game. I mean, whoever won that coin toss is going to win the game. So it really came down to the coin toss won the game. I don't know, man. I keep going back and forth on this. I don't have a definitive answer, but man, do we like going to the college rules for overtime? I would like to see that. I guess I wouldn't have a problem with college overtime rules. It's tough. I mean, Buffalo didn't even get the ball into overtime. It's just really tough, man. That's a tough thing. And that game could have gone back and forth for another hour if it was college football rules. So I don't know. That's my take. I don't particularly like the way it's set up right now. Came down to a coin toss at the end of the day for that Kansas City game. And I don't particularly like that. So I would like to see a college-type overtime rules in the NFL.
Okay. Or a definitive, or like maybe a derivative. I almost said definitive, or a derivative, where at least you get each team touches the ball no matter what. In the NFL, the same thing. It's like they said, if you score first, you win, and you win. But I still think in the playoffs and they were saying it, if it's 50-50 in the NFL, but when it comes playoff time, it's like 90%. Whoever gets the ball first wins. And that's the way it is in the NFL when you break it down statistically. And I think that needs to change because the best teams are in the playoffs and one of them's going home. I think that you need to have more of a fight there for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you as well, Jay. I just think that, both teams should have the opportunity to definitely touch the ball twice in overtime. The only thing that does scare me is one of my favorite positions because of Mike Allstott way in the back in the days is you start to eliminate the kicker at that point though, and I could kind of see not so much the kicker getting phased out because it's always going to be there as a position, but just that they don't go to the kicker obviously as much. They go more towards that 2-point conversion or, in those overtimes. Obviously you got to go for if something changes, I think maybe you don't win by a field goal. It has to be a touchdown or something, something in those aspects to where you got to give them the opportunity. And like you're saying, the Chiefs didn't even or the Bills didn't even get a chance to touch the ball, and that game was such a great game to watch. It could have gone on, it reminded me of, I can't remember, it was a Monday night or a Sunday night game a couple of years back where it just kept on going back and forth. I think it was the Rams and I can't remember the other team.
Yeah,
but
I remember that game. That game. It was like a 50-50 game. That's like 50 points versus 50 points. It was that wonderful high-scoring defenses that were non-existent, but it was exciting.
It was, and you get that in the playoffs. And like you were saying, Jay, it's just that percentile. It obviously is there, so they need to look at it and really take it into the factor.
For sure. Okay. And I'd love to keep you on all the time, but I know Jim needs to get home, and I will not have you get into an accident going on my show. So I'm going to get you guys out with this, okay? Because I love you guys to death. And again, I appreciate you coming on anytime. I have a show on. Come in, because we'll talk sports. It's not just, after football season, I know there's such a thing as after football season. You can see I got a hockey jersey behind me because I kind of changed things around in the set, okay? Come in anytime. So I'm going to go out with this. Jimmy, obviously you think the Bengals are going to beat the Chiefs. I think it's possible. I know I picked against them when push came to shove, on last night's show. But I'm still kind of leaning towards it because, again, they did it before, and I don't, trust me, I know who I want to win because I do not want Kermit the Frog in another Super Bowl. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So I know you're thinking the Bengals for the AFCs, but I'm going to ask you something that's out of your realm a little bit. Tell me who wins in the NFC and who the Bengals will face in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so real quick before I give you that San Fran Rams outcome, in my opinion, dude, if somebody gave me $1 million, said you have to put money down on this Bengals KC game, what are you doing? Guys, I don't know if I can put it on my Cincinnati Bengals, man. That's hard, man. It's really tough. Nobody's picked, but it's been like this all year. It's just been like this all year. So I don't know how they win this damn game this week. I really don't. But I've been saying that all damn year, and they figure out a way to make it happen. So I do pick the Cincinnati Bengals somehow to figure out a win this weekend. And I seriously think the San Francisco 49ers beat the Rams this week. We're going to have a rematch of Super Bowl 16 and Super Bowl 23. Everything that the Cincinnati organization has done for the past 50-plus years, haven't won a playoff game in 31 years. Haven't won a road playoff game in the history of the organization. We won a road playoff game this year against Tennessee this week. There's been one thing after another. We bucked the trend all year. It's our turn to get revenge on the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl. So I really do think the San Francisco 49ers beat the Rams. I think San Francisco's defense is legit. I think they do a good job and beat the Rams.
Okay, and again, trust me, you don't have John Taylor playing for the Niners. You don't have Jerry Rice. Jim Crumry is praying for it as well. See, I remember things, Jim. I remember things.
You do. You are an OG. You're an OG. See?
Damn right. He broke his leg. One of the most horrific injuries. His leg was flailing like a flag, and I hated to see that because he was such an important part of that defensive front that you guys had. And I know that was one. And I would love to see it. And trust me, beating the Chiefs is the best way to do it. And then after that, hey, I don't care who wins after that. I just want you to beat the Chiefs because that's the only thing I'm here for. But
we knew that was coming.
Well, of course.
I don't know. I don't know why you hate the Chiefs so much. What's going on here? I'm just playing. I know exactly why, brother. I know exactly why.
There you go. Okay.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much. Good seeing you guys. Thanks, Cap. I appreciate it, big dog.
Jim, thanks again, shipmate. Get home safe. Text me when you get home. This way I feel better.
Yes, sir, buddy. I'll talk to you later, man. Bye-bye.
All right. Always a pleasure. Thanks again, Jim.
Yeah,
Take care.
yeah. Thanks, buddy.
All right. That's Bengal Jim. I wanted to get him out before the fact is he was doing a show while he's driving.
Yeah.
Okay? And I've done it. I don't condone it. I don't want it to be. I mean, I'll do it. I will take responsibility, but not my brothers, not my friends.
No. Are on your watch, right?
not on my watch. Jim, I love you, brother. Get home safe, okay?
Yeah.
So, Mookie,
Yes,
now
sir.
it's on you. You're watching. You're on the couch. You're in Vegas. First off, you're in Vegas. So what does Vegas say about both games? Because you're in the hot spot. I want to hear what you hear.
Man, we all know who the underdogs of this weekend are on both sides, of the ball. And I honestly, if living in Vegas, if you want to win some money, I would take. I would honestly take the Bengals in the over. I think they come out very strong. I think Joe Burrow makes his case on who he is as a quarterback. The Kansas City Chiefs defense, just as we spoke earlier, to me, it's just not. It's not what everybody makes it to be. And I mean, Tampa Bay, obviously, in the Super Bowl last year, they proved that to them. They can, they put up big numbers, and then on the reverse side, they had a hard time scoring a touchdown. And then you come over to our season and our side, and it's like our defense went mediocre this year. So it's kind of like, how do you balance that out and kind of look at a Chiefs team who, basically has that same type of team that they were playing against last year and with elite, as elite team. And I mean, I think those Cincinnati Bengals are just on you got the 49ers and the Bengals. Both those teams are just on fire, man. This team is rolling and it's they're looking good. They're the teams to beat. I just don't think that the 49ers can get it done against that high-powered offense in the Rams. But I think my final prediction for the weekend is, I hate to say it, is the Rams and the Bengals. I don't know. Depends on what Garoppolo does. The Garoppolo has a lot on his shoulders right now, in my opinion. It's hard to say. What do you think?
Well, first off, if the Bengals go to the Super Bowl, I'm happy. Like I said, that means that I can actually watch the Super Bowl this year because I didn't watch it last year. I living here in Tampa. Again, you live in Vegas, so I live in Tampa. Now you are a Bucks fan, and I will again say I will be kind. You are a Bucks fan that I can talk with. That's not local. Okay, There's a big difference. There's a big difference between Tampa fans that are local and Tampa fans that are not here. So I said, and people, Raider Nation will kill me for this. I said, I rooted for the Chiefs last year.
Yeah.
I rooted for the Chiefs last year because I live here.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it. Okay?
Yep. We're in different spots. Well, our teams are in, you're where my team's at and I'm where your team's at. So,
Yeah.
I just, I've been on your show before. I've told you how I became a Bucks fan in the past. I've been out in Vegas for 28 years, and I started playing Pop Warner. They were my football team, my Pop Warner football team, and then I got on my defensive high school team. They had the best defense. I jumped on the bandwagon. They just changed their uniforms, and here I am. 19, 20 years later, just loving. They're my favorite sports franchise. I mean, my first sporting event was an A's game in the morning and a Warriors game at night. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are still my favorite sports franchise. So it's crazy, and I love the camaraderie. I love bringing all the fans together. So I look forward to seeing you out here in April for the draft, and we're going to get together this weekend for Pro Bowl with a couple other fans. So that's what it's all about, man.
For sure, and I will definitely. I'll look for you to see you out there for the draft. I was thinking about going there for the Super Bowl, but I don't have enough vacation time off. I'm still building that up, so I don't think it would behoove me to go out there. But I will be out there for the. Well, let me see. Knock wood. I'll do this right now, so I don't want to hit anything on my counter here. I'm gonna throw out this because I want you to tell me, he who shall not be named. Okay. I hear different things from different people. I hear this, I hear that, but because you are away from Tampa and your view of what you see is different than what they see here, because what they are pushing out here is, media speak for the locals here. But as a Bucks fan who's out there, what do you hear and what do you think about the princess? Screw it. I'm calling him the princess. I will not call him by his name. What do you hear about the princess coming back?
We all know that's going to be between him and Aaron Rodgers. That's going to be the biggest offseason news and talk. Let's not beat around the bush. I think he's got one more year back. He's not going to go out the way he went out. I mean, even if he does go out losing next year, he'll have a story and he'll have an ending. He's not going to go out and just say this is my last. He's not done. He's not done. He'll be back one more year. Why not 3 years with the Bucks? It's you gave us one Super Bowl already. We're going to hope for another, obviously, and we were there. I hate to blame injuries. I hate to point fingers at referees, but I mean the game was just it could have gone any way. The referees could have called it anyway because of the score, and we'll be back. I'm not worried about it at all.
And it will be a different team though, because again, there are players that you are not going to get back.
100%.
You had 22 starters go back from this year, from last year, and again, you had injuries beset you. I don't want to hear an effing word about the referees doing this, that, and the other thing. No, if anybody has a bitch about the referees, it's going to be me. Okay.
Hey, everybody, yeah.
I will say this: with the princess getting slapped for a personal foul. Great, because he shot his mouth off and said something.
Deserved it.
He deserved it. Thank you. Now I will say, Ndamukong Suh getting one wasn't right, but it's always the second guy that gets flagged. It's always the second guy that gets flagged, and I admit that one was it was only because of Ndamukong Suh's history why he got flagged. So
my biggest questionable one was that hit on Mike Evans at the end there. That was my biggest questionable call. The one that Weddle hit on Evans, and it was a no call. Yeah. I mean, to me personally, that could have been 3 different calls. That could have been leading with your helmet, pass interference just in general, and then hitting after hitting the player after the call was dead. The ball was already dead and he came flying across. It was a late hit by all means. I don't know. I a little biased, I guess you could call it on that exact play, but I think we got one more year, like you said. And the people forget. I'm gonna say this one thing: everybody hates Brady. He's on my team. I have to support him.
But this on my show. I told you don't say nothing name.
I'm sorry. I can't call him that.
He shall not be named our quarterback.
I just think that a lot of people forget, because he draws so much attention, that we actually drafted that team, and we did what I like to call a little pull in, plug in. We grabbed the quarterback, we grabbed the tight end, a couple veteran guys, but that whole team was pretty much built. I mean, AB came over. We know what happened with that. Everything else was either drafted or traded for. Our salary cap and money's looking pretty decent. We're, like you said, we're going to lose a couple guys. Ndamukong Suh may even retire. That's a person that there's nothing we can do about. But I think we're okay. I love what Jason Light does with our drafts. I'm excited to see what we're going to draft this year. and we got a young, great defense, and I think defenses win championships at the end of the day. So
I think that he who shall not be named, aka the princess, is coming back, and I think one of the main reasons why is because Aaron Rodgers is going to the AFC, and that is one less team that the fake Pirates. Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. The Bucks have to go through in the NFC. If the Packers are done, then that's one less team that they have to go through. And
I agree.
I got a bot. Shoot, I forgot to put on my YouTube. So let me see if I can slide over to YouTube to kill a bot. 1 second, Mookie, while I put my YouTube on before it gets too far up. But again, I'm talking to you. I'm putting my stuff on, and I will get to it as long as I haven't put it on. La 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 la. Give me the chat feature. Okay, there it is. Good. I think that the princess is coming back, and I think that it's because that he sees that there will be more of an opportunity to come back. Now, granted, it all depends upon how you reload, and again, what we will see, and the fact that A-Rod is, in my estimation, is going to the AFC. Again, that's one less team you have to worry about.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, there's one more. He's got one more in him. I mean, at the end of the day, he's got one more in him. And I think just as his physicality and just him personally, he just one more. I think he's got. And after that, I'd be okay with him calling it quits. And again, I don't think he's my whole team either. So I he gets it done. He's the GOAT, but I don't think, it's a team game at the end of the day. And our defense is what won us our Super Bowl last year. Keeping Mahomes under a touchdown, not even scoring a touchdown, that proves a lot. So
because you went after the Raiders playbook of how to beat Mahomes when we actually beat Mahomes the one time in Kansas City, and you guys had the players to do that, and it worked for you in the Super Bowl. And so I got that for you. Now, we talked about the princess. We talked about A-Rod. We got to find you a new jersey, though, because I can't stand that digital jersey. I think it was, and again, it's not hatred of the team. I just didn't like the jersey design. I found it probably one of the worst jerseys ever. And I remember when I was at the sporting store and I had to sell. First off, I couldn't look at them because I knew who they were. Second off, I couldn't look at them because they were just a bad jersey design. Get yourself a new jersey, okay?
Hey, be ready. The orange is coming back, Captain. It's coming back this year.
The creamsicle?
The creamsicle's coming back this year. They approved it.
You know what? I have no problem with the creamsicle because, again,
the numbers, huh?
Yeah, no, the creamsicle. When they had the other pirate, the arrow. Yeah, with Buck. I had no problem. I had no problem with the Bucks when they had that design. I really didn't. It's when you guys did this that I said I can't stand that team. Can't stand that team. And it's because of the cross swords. I think we've had that since 1960. That's why.
I hear you. Hey, I hear you. I hear you.
Well, Mookie, again, it's a pleasure. I appreciate you being on. I appreciate you sharing some knowledge with us.
Hey, thank you for having me as always.
Hey, like I said, anytime you want to come in and say, I'm going to talk to the old salty bastard, you can come into the show for sure.
Much love, buddy. And I again look forward to seeing you out here in April. And any other super fan, any Raider fan, anybody that's watching this, we're going to be hosting a big draft party, welcoming everybody that Saturday. So please, by all means, by any team, any super fan, any fan, just come out, have a good time, and we'll see you out here in Vegas out in April.
For sure. Providing I'm making carbon dioxide from oxygen, I will be out there. Okay. If I have plans where I'm kind of like cross like this, and I'm not there, that's the only thing that's going to keep me from going out there. So I guarantee you that, brother.
All right, buddy. Again, thank you again, Captain, and it's always a pleasure. You have a great off season, and I look forward to seeing you again.
You got it, brother. And Mookie, thanks again for coming on, man. It's always a pleasure.
Appreciate you, boss. Talk to you soon.
All right. Great having him on. That was Mookie. And somebody's is somebody calling? I mean, hang on. Did I miss a call? I might have missed a call. I think that might have been Jared. That might have been Jared. I don't know. Hang on. Did I do a no, I don't have a missed call. Okay. Let's do this. And again, we are 40 minutes into the show. You don't know jack about sports. There's my other wonderful I'll call her a Bucks fan because I love her to death because we don't like the princess. That's good. That's God calling. Oh, you were calling God? I apologize, God. Let me put up the number. Oh, see, it's coming in now. Whoever's calling, wait, because I don't have my number up yet. Okay, I don't have my number up yet. It's coming in now. I got the swirling circle of death. Okay, I'm gonna ignore. I'm going. You're calling right now. I'm pushing the red. Let me have my number come up. Okay, call me again. If you want to come into the show, let me do this. Okay. If you want to come into the show, I will put it up here, okay? Or call 813-699-0834. Okay, let me do that. Yeah, the spinning circle of death. Okay, now you can call. I got it up. Good evening. Oh, we got the Bishop in here. Thank you, Raider Rev, a.k.a. the Bishop, AJ. Remember, I'm the only guy that can call him Raider Rev. And that comes from the movie. Oh, there we go. We got Jared. Hang on.
Call from Pittsburgh, Jared D. Diggerow.
All right, Jared, we got you on board tonight. You don't know jack about sports, and it's the Pittsburgh Report with Jared. How you doing, brother?
Good, Cap. How you doing?
I'm good. What's up with you?
Well, a big story out of the day, of course, is the big story of the day here in Pittsburgh of Mr. Roethlisberger finally hanging it up.
Yeah. And so before we go into that, what are your chances that maybe A-Rod pulls something and goes to Pittsburgh instead of going to Denver?
Ooh, it would take a miracle. Let's just say it would take a freaking miracle for that to happen, however. You're going to have to mortgage a lot, however, in order to get him. I don't see it happening, however, unless you're going to be willing to give up a lot in return. I don't see it happening, but never say never, as they always say.
Okay. Well, we'll see that.
And, of course, we saw the Donkeys today get after Nathaniel Hackett, of course. We also saw the Bears get their new coach, if you will, today. Of course, of Mr. Everflus, or whatever his name is, Howard, the guy from Indianapolis, Howard, the defensive coordinator, which I'll tell you, I was watching First Take this morning, and I'll tell you what, I mean, Stephen A. Smith had every reason to be harder than a hornet, so to speak. I mean, he was talking about guys like Eric Bieniemy and all these guys not getting a look-see. I mean, there was talk at one point Dan Quinn was being looked at in Chicago. There was talk about him maybe possibly going to Denver. Now the question is, how are you got these minority coaches like Bieniemy and Brian Flores? How does this mean the Vikings and the Giants possibly go after him? I mean, right now, those two jobs are open, as well as Vegas and Houston. I mean, who's going to go where? We don't know where the dominoes are going to fall next, though. We just don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that now did Houston pick a coach yet?
No, they have not had a coach yet. And Flores, I know, has interviewed with the Giants twice. And from what I hear, it looks like the Giants are ready to make him an offer now at this point. And if they don't hire him, it's a shame because right now, other than Minnesota, however, you got that job open, you got Miami open, you got Houston, you got Vegas. Who knows where the dominoes are going to fall next?
I think Bieniemy. I know that I heard that Bieniemy was linked to Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I heard that Flores was linked to Houston. So I think that they will in fact get jobs. I think that they're actually just waiting to see when the Chiefs are out of the market, and hopefully he will be taking calls on Monday. I'm just saying. Hopefully he'll be taking calls on Monday. But again, I like Eberflus as from all the things I've seen about or read about him. Will be. my 170-year-old great-great-great-grandmother from Russia would be an improvement. She's been dead, and I don't know who it is, but I'm just saying that person's been dead for years, and that would be an improvement on what they've had in Chicago the last several times. I mean, you talk about Mark Trestman, Matt Nagy. If I'm missing somebody, I apologize. It's because they've had some really crappy coaches for the last several years. Now they bring in somebody that actually I think
And
would
they've
do
had
a
a bad
Providence.
GM like Pace and all that stuff. So it hasn't been the same at all. How it's Singletary or whatever. But hopefully this is the turnaround they needed. But we'll have to wait and see, though. I mean, we just don't know. But like I said, I think the next dominoes that are going to topple in the coaching circle could be the Giants, however, or Minnesota. I know they just hired a minority or some big, I don't think it was a minority, but I think it was like some Ivy League GM or whatever it was yesterday. The Vikes have not come out and said anything yet who they're going to go after yet, but we'll have to wait and see in the next few days or week or so.
No, actually, I think that the Vikings hired a minority gentleman, and don't ask me to say his name because it's
hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to say. So, I think that that they will probably go after. I think that they're going to go after Eric Bieniemy, and I think it's time. I think it is time.
I agree 100% with you. Well, I'll get you out on this. We got the golf report to talk about. We got the Farmers Insurance Open this weekend going on at Torrey Pines. They will be playing tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock, however. But some excitement, however, from the first 2 days. I mean, Justin Thomas was 68 yesterday, 63 today. Cameron Tringale, 67, 65 the first 2 days. Jason Day is 70 and 65. The round of the day, of course, went to Adam Schenk. From what I'm seeing right now, he shot a 62 today. So right now, Howard Thomas and Rahm are in the contention along Tringale. Some other names to keep an eye on: Billy Horschel at 63 yesterday, but really had a rough day today at 73. And then, of course, let's see some other reads. Patrick Reed, the defending champ, 72 yesterday, 66 today. Let's see, Francesco Molinari, 66 and 72 the first 2 days. Roy 17, 71, 68. So we're going to see what happens tomorrow, Howard, when they get the Zoom tower on. I believe tomorrow they will be playing, I forget what course, but I know the first 2 days they split up in the north and south. I'm not sure which one they're going to be playing tomorrow and Sunday, but right now we got Thomas and Rahm in the clubhouse tied for the lead going into tomorrow's round 3.
Okay. And, I can't wait to see it. And we'll talk a little bit more. And Jared, as always, a pleasure, partner. Thanks for popping in, man.
No problem. I'll talk at you.
All right. Take care. That's the Pittsburgh Report with Jared. I see Raphael. Raphael, I see you. I see, okay, it's God, a.k.a. Vin Diesel, a.k.a. whatever else God is going by, this one, and I see Raider Squid. Gentlemen, I see you, but I need to do this before I forget, okay? Because there's so much going on, and people are talking about it. I made a note because I wanted to make sure I talked about everything, and I'm still probably going to forget something, okay? So let's get you caught up on what I know, what I think, what I hear about the Raider GM / head coach situation. Because what I thought was going on this morning got totally blown out of the water by this afternoon. Because this morning it was like, oh my God, it's Dodd and Harbaugh. And I go back to work and blah, 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 blah. I do my work. And then I hear other things. So before I get ahead of myself, let me go with all my notes, okay? Dodds was the assistant GM, aka player personnel guy in Indianapolis. Came in for an interview yesterday and just blew folks out of the water. Had a very fantastic interview, and things were looking great. And everybody's saying, okay, connect the dots. Dodds, who had ties to the Raider organization, was going to bring in Jim Harbaugh because he had ties to Jim Harbaugh. And then Harbaugh obviously brings in Pep Hamilton, and he's going to bring in Vic Fangio, yada, yada, yada. And this is a done deal. So that's what happened this morning, okay? However, what I also heard was that the Raiders are hearing a bunch of stuff. I'll say stuff to keep it within Roku standards. A bunch of stuff from Harbaugh's camp about total team control. Now, when you start talking total team control, I know that there is some futhermucker, and I said futhermucker, I didn't cuss, that had total team control the last time the Raiders had a head coach that didn't have interim in front of it. So I give Mark Davis props when somebody says that a certain coach at the University of Michigan wants total team control. No. And Mark Davis does not want to go down that rabbit hole again because he saw the crap that was spewed the last time that happened. So fast forward to this afternoon. When the Raiders seek out to interview Josh McDaniel, the offensive coordinator of the Patriots, and everybody I know loses their friggin' mind. They lose their friggin' mind. And I see all the comments. Let me get to my notes and I'll run through the comments. They lose their friggin' mind. Oh my God, how can you bring in Josh McDaniels? Oh, what a loser he is. He's from the Bill Belichick tree of coaching, and they all suck and yada, yada, yada. And he sucked in Denver, but that was about 10 years ago, okay? And they just lost their minds, okay? Let me say this. The Raiders had an interview with David, I think his name is David Ziegler, who was with the Patriots organization. I don't know how it went, but it wasn't as great as the interview that Dodds had. But they did, in fact, interview Ziegler, who was doing information and cap and drafting underneath Bill Belichick, a.k.a. the hoodie. So he has that going for him. However, if you're on the, oh my God, Josh McDaniels suck train, then at least do this. Reread things about McDaniels, because I did. And I reread how in Spygate 2, when Carnecchia, who is actually the son of their offensive line coach, who was doing the imaging and the filing, the tape, of the what do you call it? The videotaping. There you go. Of when the Broncos were in London and whoever they played in London, and they videotaped it. And the guy said, "Hey, Josh, look what I got for you." And Josh is like, whoa, I don't want to see any of that. And he didn't watch the tape, but he didn't report it to the NFL. So because he didn't report it to the NFL, him and Scarnecchia and the Broncos were fined $50,000 each. And then the Broncos, because they had a crappy team, and because he didn't report it, it was a big black eye on the Broncos organization. Like a week later, he was fired. Get the right guys. It's time we can both start competing. Hey, thank you there, Eagles. I'll get to the comments as well. So again, reread Josh McDaniels stuff, and then also read about, everybody's saying how he left Indianapolis at the altar, that they were supposed to do this, supposed to do that. I also defy you to look at what was going on there as well. Now, here's the other thing. You think Dodds wouldn't want to have McDaniel because, of what McDaniel did to him in Indianapolis. But I say, aha, is it a coincidence that right the day after Dodds interviews that the Raiders reach out to McDaniels? That's not a coincidence. And so I think that there is some smoke and fire there. The other thing is this, is that McDaniels went to Indianapolis. He was not given a good story of what was going on in the organization. Remember, we talk about the Patriots way. The Patriots way. They have this guy that does this, and this guy does that, and the general manager does this, and the coach does that. It's laid out. It's specific. It works. I can't stand them, but it works. Okay? It works. He was given information, and then they couldn't answer the questions about how the weight room worked, how the strength conditioning coaches did this. And he's like, whoa. This should have been defined. There was no signed document. His name was not on the paper. And at the same time, the folks in New England said, dude, come back. We got you for you. and he's like, "Hey, this is not what I signed up for," and he left. Okay, he left. So I'll give him a pass on that. But Dodds was there in Indianapolis. Okay, so Dodds was in Indy with McDaniels. Dodds is still the best GM candidate in my estimation. He is the best GM candidate. The second one would be Hunt, who interviewed, but Hunt is likely to get the Pittsburgh GM job once it's offered. So Hunt would be a great number 2 guy in the Stiller organization. And then there's a guy by the name of Tucker. Finally, or maybe kind of finally, there's a couple different thoughts here. A gentleman by the name of Spytek, who is the works under Todd Light here in Tampa Bay, they've reached they being the Raiders reached out to interview him for the general manager. That might occur, maybe not. Depends upon what we go with the Dodds / McDaniel thing, because McDaniel is going to be interviewing on Friday. Allegedly, Todd Bowles is interviewing on Friday as well. So the Raiders will interview both Todd Bowles and Todd McDaniel either Friday or Saturday. I know it's this weekend, Friday and Saturday. So tomorrow and Saturday, you got Todd Bowles and Josh McDaniel. McDaniel probably on Saturday, Todd Bowles tomorrow. Okay. Now, the other folks that where this kind of rings with what's going on with the Raiders, and don't put all your baskets into Jim Harbaugh, because Harbaugh wants total control. Okay. And again, I will throw this up there as well. Thank you, Matthew, for putting this up there, because this leads to my next point. Okay. The Jags are going to have Byron Leftwich as their head coach. Okay. But Leftwich said, I don't want to work for Trent Baalke. So Trent Baalke just got shown the door. They got the guy that they wanted out of the Cardinal organization. They're reaching out to him so that he will be the GM. But what makes this interesting and concerned with the Raiders and Jim Harbaugh is their defensive coordinator, alleged defensive coordinator under Harbaugh, was also given an interview with the Jaguars. That's Vic Fangio. Okay. So Vic Fangio was picked up to go out to Jacksonville to interview, likely as the defensive coordinator for the Jaguars. Because and if Harbaugh doesn't get the job in with the Raiders, then he'd probably say, yeah, I'll take a job. I mean, it definitely beats being out of work. Okay. So he would take that job. So don't expect Vic Fangio to be coming in if the Raiders don't get their ducks in a row in time. Which leads me to who would be the defensive coordinator under McDaniel, and that would be Wink Martindale, late of the defensive coordinator of the Ravens and a former linebackers coach of the Oakland Raiders. Okay, Martindale has a thorough defense. It's kind of like Paul Guenther's in the fact that you need to know what the hell you're doing, but it's more rapid reaction than Guenther's. You don't need a friggin' history book and an abacus to learn how to play defense. And this is what I like about Martindale. He knows how to blitz. He knows how to blitz. I like that. Now, obviously, the Raiders will need to get some corners that can cover a lot better. Merrick would be fantastic in Martindale's defense because he would be able to use Trayvon Merrick. He would be able to use Abram. So Martindale's defense would work, okay? So if you have Wink Martindale being a blitz-happy defensive coordinator, which I've been looking for a while, okay, that's what you need. Josh McDaniels with Dodds as the GM, I still think that might happen, okay? So we'll see. But I have a feeling that the Raiders, this is going to be bing, 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 and we'll probably find out by the end of the week. Okay, by the weekend, just in time for the games. Normally, M.Davis like to do it Super Bowl week, but a lot of these coaches get scooped up real quick, and you need to make sure that you get all your coordinators and all your other guys in place. So I'm glad that M.Davis is doing a thorough search, but is making it quick as far as to let these guys get their jobs in sync. So, okay. Bisaccia went to the Bears. I've heard that he was, so Bisaccia's gone. If that's true, Bisaccia went to the Bears, and he got a job. He got a job, and Coach Bisaccia, more power to you. And we won't see the Bears for several years because they just went out. Well, they were the extra game. We might see them in 3 years when we play that division again. Okay, Olsen's gone. Bradley most likely is gone, and now we know that Coach Bisaccia went to the Bears. So that is what's going on in Raiderland. I don't know about anybody else. We will fill that out as we get to it. Okay. So again, I will catch up on the some of these comments. Peyton, I think Peyton. The fact that the Raiders are not going to have Bisaccia there for like a 1-year deal means that Peyton's not going to be the coach, because I think we could have waited on Peyton for a year. Okay. What's this, guys? Yeah, thanks again, there, Eagles Uncensored podcast. I definitely want to bring that up. Big boys in the house. What's good? Love your channel. Hey, thanks again. Tell the folks what's going on here, man. I said and I ask you, please don't forget, after the show, put comments, because if you put comments after the show, it means people know that we're interactive. And if they know we're interactive, I honestly tell you this, more people will watch the channel because they see that we are interactive. More people will watch the channel. I tell you this, it's true. It's true. I want to get more people out there. Dirty Low, thank you for being here as well. Carlos, appreciate that as well. God is in here, so I'll see him in a little bit. Bottoms up. Why not kick the tie? No, I just told you there, Bishop, why Peyton's not going to be able to that. Mr. and Mrs. Pyro, thanks for being in here. Hey, Boca Diaz. Ahoy, Captain Ahoy. Ahoy to you there again. Hey, if you know what Boca Diaz are, I said, did you see the toy back here? Well, underneath the other one, there's a Captain Jack here. There is your My Toy from Boca Diaz. Make sure you go on the Boca Diaz website, get your Boca Diaz squared away, and you can have like a Funko Pop made from your Boca Diaz. Made from your Boca Diaz. Go see bocadiaz.com, and I know Raider Squid will talk about it when he gets in here as well. Okay. I met 15-year-olds playing Mac and out, coach most of them. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, and again with Coach Bisaccia. Hey, SC Experience, good to see you as well. Carlos, thanks again. Appreciate it. There Eagles is back in the house. I will get the people as well. Oh my goodness, Michelle. I love my Mish. Love Michelle Anderson. I love you, honey. Coming hard and strong next year. Bottom line said they wanted to have a little taste of the pie, going to lead to getting the whole pie. Thank you, Michelle. I love you, baby. I love Michelle. Michelle is the greatest, most awesomest Raiderette in Utah and around that whole area, and I love her to death. Thank you for being here. Carlos, thanks again for hitting the like button. Again, hit the comment section after the show. I see all the good comments in the chat, but go and hit it in the comment section, okay? I see a lot of salute. Yeah, Valerie Richby is gone. That's unfortunate. Wave 3 is coming next week. That's from Boca Diaz. David Carr said we'll talk about that. And Ant, he got hired, so we got on that. Jimmy Moore, thank you. Yeah, Raiders got to get this right by Valerie. Okay. So I'm up. I'm caught up. Okay, so I got a lot of people here. So what I'm going to do is this. Okay, speed rounds, baby. Speed rounds. I'll try to do like 5 minutes with each guy. I got Raphael. I got God, a.k.a. Vin Diesel. I got Raider Squid. I got Eagles Podcast. I will get everybody in here. I swear. We're going to start off with Raphael. Raphael, I love that shirt, Raphael. Stand up, brother. Let's see it. Oh, I love that. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm very good, Mr. Captain Jack. I'm very good. I just heard about the Raiders news about it, the organization, and that was very sad that Rich Bisaccia went to Raiders, to the Chicago Bears. And the most point about it, because I just wanted to, my opinion about it. Because, I heard that, they interviewed some of the coaches right now, from Jerry Humble for the Michigan to Josh McDaniels for the New England Patriots. So it seems that, so we're gonna choose one by little to say who's got the best one, who's got everything about it, who's got the best plan right here, who got the best contract right now. So it's not fair that all these fans are gonna put the bucket and see what's the best coach, which is Harbaugh or McDaniels. So you had to wait because first we got the interviews, then the organization had to go to choose which coach is it most appropriate for anyone. So it seems like they had the perfect time to see because they know about the war patience, and we're gonna see they're gonna choose the coach perfectly to see a rebuilding, a reorganization, a rebuilding about the players, about the organization, the coach, and of course the special team, which is the best important about it. So no matter how you're gonna deal about it, so I hope it's gonna be a good coach for the next season of the Raiders, and hopefully they're gonna take the lead for the victory, and I hope it's gonna be a shocking moment. So.
Okay, well, hey, I appreciate that. And like I said, I saw this. I love that. Where did you get that?
That was one of the gift. One of my subscribers. That was a gift because it looks very good because I show
It
out.
does.
Yes, it does because it mixes it out with the baseball and of course the football. But that's the biggest choice that I ever had in my life. So
Well,
yeah.
hey, find out where he got it and find out if they have big boy sizes like Triple X. Because I'll get one.
Oh yes, got it because
I'll do that as well.
yeah.
Okay, I got to get you out on this. Like I said, it's before the game. Now, tomorrow, if you want to wait on this, you can wait because tomorrow I'm doing an uncensored show. Which means everybody can drop F-bombs tomorrow. Not tonight because we're on Roku. But
That's
tomorrow
right.
we're having an uncensored show. So if you want to wait till tomorrow to give me your comments as to who you think is going to be in the Super Bowl, I will let you wait until tomorrow.
All right. So even though I'm a good gentleman because this is on Roku TV, but then tomorrow I'm gonna drop anything else.
Well, I'm not saying, Raphael, you don't have to swear. You don't have to swear. I'm just saying.
I will save it for tomorrow. I will save it for tomorrow. So I will save it for tomorrow.
Okay, Raphael, shipmate, thank you, brother. Find out where they got that and let me know because I'll get one too.
Okay, I would. Okay, I would love to. I will send you because that's for Ultra Game right now, and that's very incredible. So I will send you a private link right now because they know it had the perfect fit. So
Okay, well, good. Now remember, I got to have a Triple X though.
Oh yes, yeah.
Because I got a lot of Captain's Belly here, so that's it.
That's very good. That's very good. So once again, Captain Jack, it's always a pleasure and talking about all the sports stuff right now. That even though I'm wearing this baseball cap for the Raiders because I love that, and it's always a pleasure. I hope you see you tomorrow. So El Capitán Rafael se despide. So I will see you there.
You got it. All right, brother. You take care. Thanks again. Yep. That's Raphael. Got it. Hey, I lost Squid. I'm sorry, Squid. I apologize. I'm going to get to God. God is next. Squid, please come on back. I know it's hard to get everybody in here. I'm trying to get everybody in here again. Squid. God, turn your volume down, brother. So I hate hearing my voice the first time. I don't want to hear it the second time. Oh, hang on. Can I unmute? Okay. Unmute.
Okay. You're good, brother. It's all good, man.
I only hear one time.
What's that?
Well, if I can come up and I hear echo, I can't stand that. Okay. Turn your volume down or put headphones on so I can hear you but nobody can hear me. Is that okay, God? Hopefully so. God, while we're waiting, God, you here?
Yeah, it's fine, dude. It's all good, man.
Okay, good. There you go. God, what you got me? God, aka Vin Diesel, aka. By the way, what is that? Is that let me see. Is that a Ford?
It's the F-150, brother. It's a Ford.
Yeah, I got one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot nicer than mine because you got the big Raider thing. I will admit this: the next truck that I get, and it's not because I didn't love it the first time, but I put like a big sticker on my tailgate that said, my club, and I had a big window wrap on for the back window, and I had side window wraps on it. I'm not doing it this time because again, it strips it of its. Trust me, it'll be black and silver, and I'll have Raider accents on it, but I'm not going to do all of that. I might do maybe a window wrap that says Captain Jack in my website, but I'm not gonna. I would love to trick it out, but I promised the other people that are in the house I wouldn't do it.
Right. No, 100%, man. Hey, hit me up, dude. I can actually, yeah, I can actually do the graphic for you, dude. That's what I do.
Hey, God, or AKA Vin Diesel, AKA whatever the hell you're going by tonight. I appreciate you doing that. What do you got going on for me tonight, there, shipmate?
Hey, brother, it's all good, man. I'm trying to be nice because I know you're on Hulu.
Yeah, I'm on Roku, right? And just like, hey, Regard Rashid, it's good to see you there, brother. And again, we are watching on Roku TV, so please watch your language. Tomorrow night, uncensored, rapping with Captain Jack, sports talk. Okay, we will do that tomorrow. I mean, granted, I want to hear from you tonight, but just everybody's got to be on their best behavior tonight. So, what are you thinking tonight, there, God? What do you got for me?
As far as the, as far
No,
as
hey, it's you don't know jack about sports. Talk to me about what you thought about during this past weekend's game. Now, if you come in tomorrow night, you don't want to give. If you don't want to give who you think is going to be in the Super Bowl, you can wait till tomorrow. But what are your thoughts about the Raiders GM search, the Raiders head coach search? The upcoming Pamela Anderson and what's his nose's sex tape show on Hulu TV. Whatever, providing you can't not swear. But give me your thoughts, man. It's a Thursday night. There's no sports on. We're talking with me.
exactly. Well, for one, Kansas City, yeah, they're gonna fall to Cincinnati, dude. The Bengals, yeah. I mean, I give them their props, dude. They came in, we came in, we fought our hardest. The As much as I wanna like shun them, nah. Like Kansas City, you're done. As soon as Cincinnati rolls in, yeah, like it's over. But as far as I honestly I think San Francisco actually could beat Los Angeles as well. Um, and everybody said last week, "Oh man, you're like there's a lot of upsets in your predictions," and I'm like, "Yeah, but it just feels right." You know what I'm saying? Like I don't watch other people to predict what I think. I watch other people take the information in, process it, and then regurgitate it. So I think Cincinnati can absolutely beat Kansas City. San Francisco, I think they beat LA. I think LA lands up next year. They're like $80 million in the cap, and they're like, I don't know what to do. And
Yeah, yeah.
you know
Hey,
what I'm saying?
hey, I gotta ask, and it's not me. It's not me asking this. Ant ask if you're high.
Oh, of course, dude.
There
100%.
you go, Ant. You got your answer. He is high. I was
And
talking
it's
about the
legal
post,
in
but I
Maine,
gotta
brother.
get high. I'm not getting high. But yeah, it's a but hey, but whatever, man. You're mellow. You're cool. You're talking sports, and you're blowing smoke, literally blowing smoke up other people's butts. So that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, dude. Like I said before, man, I live in Patriots country. I can throw a fucking rock and hit Canada from right now. You know what
You
I'm saying?
got it.
F them haters, and I think I just said
Yeah, I know. I didn't hear you.
it's all good.
La 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 la. We're not talking about God.
You
La la
like,
la 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 la.
yeah,
We're
you
on
like my
Roku TV,
7 year old.
and we keep it real on Roku TV. We just don't care. That's fine, God. So I gotta ask you, okay? What are you hearing? You are in Patriots land. What are you hearing about the Josh McDaniels fire up there?
Honestly, they they are so in tune to it, like they're still high on Brady. Like they think Brady's gonna come back. Like they they're like Donald Trump fans or whatever. They're like Brady's gonna come back. He's gonna save us.
Well,
And I'm like, y'all delusional, man. Like it's okay. Like I want to talk to him and help him out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I tell you, well, remember I live in Tampa or
Yeah,
fake Pirateville, so I have to listen to,
Bootyville.
hey, stop swearing on my show. You said that person's last name, and I'm not even talking about the F word you just said. I'm talking about the B word. Okay, so stop swearing. But no, I have to listen. And I got a Jack Kenna. By the way, Versace is not available because he just signed with the Bears as their special
Yeah,
teams guy. Harbaugh is playing hardball because Harbaugh wants all the control, and they're not going to give it to him. And I applaud Mark Davis for not giving it to him because we don't need that crap a second time out. We don't need it the second
yeah.
time out.
A
So
thousand, a
yeah, no,
thousand percent. I mean, that's what I talked about before, as far as like we don't need a yes man for a GM. You know what I'm saying? For one, we need to establish a president. You know, I say Charles Woodson. A lot of people say Marcel Reese and stuff, but like Charles Woodson, dude, he would be like my. Okay, so take this in. My idea as far as like
okay,
president of operations, you
right.
get in there, you you are the player's coach basically. Like you're not talking about contracts. You're just getting in there, you're hyping them up. You know what I'm saying? I got you. You know, you're going to them one on one. I got you. In which I would say Rich Bisaccia with his little notes and handwritten letters to the players, that hits a that hits a heartstring. We need somebody like that within our organization to actually bring up those people, because I mean that's what fires people up. Like you watch old school movies in the 80s and the 90s, and they're like, oh, pull on the heartstrings, but nah, it was actual, like it got you hyped up. The Rocky, you every time, what does everybody do now? They listen to Rocky and they're like, don't, I'm like, listen,
Da-da-da.
yeah, da-da-da.
Hey, just listen to that. I just lost a pound. You know why? Because I'm thinking about going up to
Exactly.
I didn't lose a pound, but in my mind I lost a pound. And if I would think about it a little more, I would be 5 pounds lighter by the end of the show.
Exactly, 100%. And I try to talk people before I mean, even when Gruden, like week 3, week 2, even we was winning, I just didn't like his play calling. I'm like, it just,
No, I've hated his play calling forever.
yeah, I'm like, something just seems off, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I love the guy because the attitude he brings, he's a leader of men, but don't overstep your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? And I think Gruden overstepped his boundaries. I think he overstepped. Keep your status as the leader of men and let your offensive coordinator call. You know what I'm saying? Let your defensive call. Like, to me, that's a head coach. Is somebody the coach? Like, because I love playing Madden's 3. You know why? I let them play the offense, I let them play the defense. I come in and I'm like a breath of fresh air. I'm like, bro, let's go. And they're like, what? Like,
Okay.
oh, you're not selfish? And I'm like, no, let's go, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got your back regardless. I'm going to lift you up regardless. And they're like, people discount the coach position because they're like, oh, well, he's not calling. Well, he doesn't have to call. He's the head coach. You know what I'm saying? Let your offensive coordinator call it. That's why they're an offensive coordinator.
And we haven't had an offensive coordinator. Gruden was the de facto offensive coordinator, and his play calling sucked. Ole, who was the offensive coordinator in name. He sucked. Tom Cable called better plays than he did, and Tom's not the greatest. So at least this way, okay, if we get Harbaugh, it's going to be an improvement. If we get Josh McDaniel, it's going to be an improvement. Okay, and I really do believe, and call me, maybe I'm smoking the same stuff that you are, and I don't smoke, but I really think that Josh McDaniel, the second time around, will be improved because it was too early for him when he went to Denver. He was like 33 years old. He's 45, 46, 47 years old. He's been around Bill Belichick. He might not be the greatest head coach, but I tell you what, the offense will be purring, and I like that. And if he brings in a good defensive coordinator, and Martindale is not a bad one, although they played like crap when they played the Bengals, but that's because he put a burr up Joe Burrow's butt. See, Burrow, that was a play on words. And he inspired Joe Burrow to throw for 500 something yards on that defense. He did. So, but Martindale wasn't on the field. But Burrow was on the field and he lit up that defense. I think that if they gotta have Wink Martindale as their coordinator, I will take that. Hey, God and Vin Diesel, aka and whatever you're going by as well, their shipmate. I appreciate you coming. I got to get to Philadelphia podcast because he's been waiting on me as well. And I thank you. And trust me, anytime you want to drop graphics. Anytime you want to drop graphics and send them my way, please do. I give you carte blanche, man. It'd be great.
Hey, 100%, man. And I do appreciate that, dude. 100%. Thank you very much, brother. And I will actually. I'm going to hit you up on, I don't got IG, but I do have Twitter. I'm going to hit you up on Twitter.
Okay. Hit me up on Twitter and I will hit me like a PM on Twitter. I will answer it eventually. I need to get over to Twitter more often, and I'll give you my email address, and you can do. And again, I appreciate everything that you send. It's not like it goes like, yeah, this Father Mucker did it, and I don't appreciate. No, I appreciate.
No, I was watching you as I was talking, dude, and I appreciate it. I real recognizes real, and that's a lot of things that is lost in this day and age. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at you when you're listening to me just like you're talking to me. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that because I see the subtle flinches, the subtle eyebrow raise. I appreciate that, man. And I appreciate the nation, one nation, the only nation, rated nation. Love y'all, man.
Hey, again, God, I gotta call you God, man. The Vin Diesel, Mike.
So good, brother.
Yeah, God, gotta be God. God, love you, brother. Thank you for coming in. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you.
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter. We'll get with you. All right, that was God, man. Love God. We're gonna bring in it says the Eagles Uncensored. It's the podcast, correct? Did I get it right, shipmate?
Yes, sir, you did. What's going on, Captain? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I got to do this because I need to remind you, unlike your show when we were on the Uncensored podcast, tonight we're censored because we are watching on Roku TV, so please watch your life.
Understand.
I got to say, now tomorrow night I will be doing an uncensored show while my show from the other night is on Roku TV taped. I will be doing an uncensored show on and by the way, you're watching this live on Roku TV. Tomorrow night, watch my show on Roku TV from the other night. If you didn't see it because it wasn't on Roku TV, you will see it tomorrow night. You can also watch me on Captain Jack Rackham on YouTube. I will be doing uncensored. So you have two possibilities to watch Captain Jack tomorrow night on Roku TV. I am not on Roku TV as Captain Jack. You got to go to Northeast Streaming Sports. Northeast Streaming Sports. What is it, big guy? What's that, your Roku channel?
Northeast Streaming Sports.
There you go. See, I don't even have to say it a third time. I can have my guests say it. Thanks again, brother.
Yes, sir. No problem, man.
Now, what's going on with you? Talk to me about what's going on over there. Now, you're in Cali, if I remember correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are you hearing coming out of the Eagles camp all the way out in Cali? Because you get your news 3 hours late. So I want to hear what you know from being an Eagle, or say, I apologize. Let me say it correctly. An Eagles fan out in Cali. What are you hearing? What's going on? What's going on with Sirianni? Are they going to improve? Are they getting rid of Jalen Hurts? Should they give more? And I hope they don't do this, because I'm actually thinking that your backup quarterback, Gardner Minshew, would look really good in silver and black as the backup quarterback to Derek Carr. So what are you hearing?
Well, listen, man, that's kind of why I came on, because there's a lot going on about both our teams, and I believe we both took a major step in the right direction this year, both our organizations. I have a good friend who is a Raiders content creator, Eric. I talk with him about his team all the time. Dude, I give you guys props, man, with all the stuff you guys had going on this whole year and a half, with Ruggs and his thing and Gruden and AB. And, you guys have just been mollywopped after one another, and you've survived. Your team kept fighting, and look what you guys achieved. And then the same with my team, with the whole Wentz trade, and didn't know what was going to happen, and starting out 2-5 and finishing, 9-8. I believe our teams are in the right direction, both of our teams. I believe Derek Carr is actually not a bad quarterback. I give him a lot of respect. I do. I believe he's a good quarterback that was kind of put in a bad situation at times. He hasn't always had the best around him. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And I believe you can win with Derek Carr. You got Waller. You have Hunter Renfrow, you got Josh Jacobs, you got some key pieces there. You just need a little more. You need your Calvin Johnson or Julio Jones-esque receiver, give them a little more. But defensively, you guys are young but very talented. I believe, you had a little key more pieces on the defensive side of the ball, and, you guys are right there. And that's the same with us. Our secondary needs work, our safeties, our corners, our linebackers. And our wide receiver and free agency obviously needs addressed. So, but I think it's too crazy to sit here and say we should be like completely tearing down our teams and rebuilding. No, we just made the playoffs with what little bit that we have. So let's build from that foundation,
Yeah, I agree, and I just think that now I told you, and I was wrong. I told you I thought that the Eagles were going to come into Tampa and upset the fake Pirates. We were very wrong about
We were
that.
all wrong. Yeah.
We were very wrong about that. But
Yeah.
what more do the Eagles need in order to make sure that they don't have a bad outing again?
Well, one, I believe our outing in the playoffs, man, that was just strictly a first-year head coach, a first-year starting quarterback, a first-year rookie, first wide receiver one, rookie. It was a lot of firsts for a lot of people on our team. And they just got out coached. They were out, man. Because in all honesty, we weren't supposed to be in the playoffs. This team was not built for that. We lucked out. We won the games we should have won, and we got in. I'm not going to make excuses. But you could totally tell the difference between the teams who should have been there and the teams who shouldn't. And we were definitely one of them. So it was just being out coached, outmanned, outplayed, all of it, man. You could tell experience really triumphed that game.
Right, and again, I love your center, Kelsey. That's the Kelsey I like. I don't like his
Yeah.
brother, but I do like Jason Kelsey because he is a hard man. I love him when he showed up at the Eagles championship parade in a Mummers outfit. You know who the Mummers are?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, for those that don't know who the Mummers are, the Mummers is like every January 1st, you have a big parade in Philly. It's called the Mummers Day. I think it's January 1st, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Mummers
They
Day
dress
parade.
like genies almost. They look like genies, green genies.
Outfits, and it's
Yeah.
beautiful, and it's awesome to see. And Jason Kelsey goes to the Eagles championship thing in a mummer's outfit, and it's wonderful. So if you don't know what the Mummers Day Parade is, go see it. I'm from Philly originally, so I get
Yeah.
that. But he's a character, and he's not a stick in the mud a-hole like his brother is. Okay.
Right.
So
Yeah.
anyway, but I think that the Eagles need to have they need another wide receiver uh, opposite the kid from Alabama. Rager is good, but they need
Yeah.
somebody else besides Smith and Rager. They need a third option. I'm not sure. You got rid of your tight end, correct? Ertz, right?
Yeah. Ertz is in Arizona.
Right.
I'm taking that 1.7 million cap hit on Rager. He's walking. J. Jaw walking. Derek Barnett also letting him go. He's done. I'm probably trying to go out for like an Allen Robinson, a Chris Godwin, a Mike Williams. I even floated with the idea of like an Emmanuel Sanders, a D.D. Westbrook, kind of bring in somebody to compete with Quez Watkins in the slot, someone who's still young but has a little bit more experience. Just bring out the best in these guys. I also said, maybe if you get lucky, you can maybe fill some defensive gaps in free agency. Maybe, it all depends on who's out there. We're not sure who's going to get tagged or who's going to get extended, yet, so.
Well, see, I think the Eagles, and again, I keep saying it correctly. I think that they should bring back and I'm going to say this with a Jim Johnson clone. You notice I put my hat over my heart. May he rest in peace. Jim Johnson, not Jimmy Johnson, but Jim Johnson was the DC when the Eagles had a really fantastic defense, and they need to have somebody to bring that fire back in with the Philly defense. And once they get that, I think Sirianni would be going back to do that. Oh, and
Do you want to know the idea I'm floating with on that?
Sure. By the way, folks, do what God is doing. Go back to old shows and please comment. And please comment from now on as we do the shows. The more comments we get, the more interactive we get, the more people know that we exist. And I want to broaden this. I'll be honest. I want to broaden this channel because I want more people on here. And then, we get a chance to see you in all your Eagles pride. That's great to see, brother. See, there is a face behind the little tiny circle of Eagles uncensored broadcast. And by the way, if you want to hear an uncensored broadcast, and you are, granted, you're mostly Raider fans here, but he's got a good one. Make sure that you put your information on there at the end as well. And by the way, is there an update on what is it? The effort that you were doing a couple of weeks ago with the gentleman?
Well, for the GoFundMe?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, the funds were sent. He needed them ahead of schedule, but I got $1,500 away from my goal, so I made $3,500.
Hey, but that's $3,500 that was going to a gentleman that greatly needed it, and I sent mine. I did contribute.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
It wasn't a stick in the mud. It was more than $1. It was less than 50. It was somewhere in between there. But it was something that I sent from the heart because, again, for those that don't know, you were doing a GoFundMe for one of your friends that lost their son.
Yeah, his 26-year-old son, like an hour before our game against Dallas, week 18. So.
Yeah. So again, people that are here do good things for good things and good commodities and good practices, and I thank you for that as well. So it's good to have that as well. Oh
yeah, man.
See, even Jack Kenna gives you some positives. And Jack Kenna, I will get to your question because Jack Kenna wants me to talk about my GM head coach combo, and I will do that after I'm done with the Eagles. Now I got to ask as well, and I will put it up again. We got about 25 minutes, so I can have maybe one or two more people on. Okay.
No, I wanted to give you my defensive thing for you.
Yeah, for sure.
You were talking about that.
For sure.
Yeah, so I a lot of people have been saying about Vic Fangio and Zimmerman and all these guys, but I went the unique route, and I liked what you said about the Jim Johnson. You know, I actually want to see what Houston does with their head coach, because if they hire a head coach, he might want his own defensive coordinator, and
Well,
if they fire,
yeah, they fired their head coach already.
I know, but when they hire their new one, I said.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
Yeah, when they hire their new one, I want to see what they do with Lovie Smith, because if they release Lovie Smith, I want Lovie Smith to come to Philly. I think Lovie Smith would be an excellent defensive coordinator for us. He brings that rough, gritty defense, like you were talking about, hard hitting. Plus, he's a vet head coach, so he has experience and he can help Nick grow as a head coach.
Yeah, because Lovey's been a head coach, you'd be a fantastic addition to that staff.
Yeah.
Sirianni is going to be a very good coach, but he's young, and it would be better to have some people that are on the staff that can help him out for the things that he needs to work on. And again, Lovey might not be the greatest head coach. He is a player's guy, so that he would have the good feel of the players in Philadelphia. And actually, I think it looks better with a beard, by the way, too. I've seen him this year.
Right.
He looks better with a beard. He looks
Yeah.
good with a beard. But
And that he was the main reason they won their 4 games, man. No lie. I mean, he had that defense playing good as he could with what he had.
Yeah. Okay. So the Eagles, they're going to take the East next year, aren't they?
I'm not going to say that, but I want them to.
I think they can if they make enough additions. If they make enough additions. I mean, you made the playoffs this year. You beat out whatever they're going to call the team in D.C. And I'm actually looking forward to that. I want to hear it's now the Washington Arrowbirds or the Washington Roughhousers or the Washington Freeloaders or the Washington heroin stick addicts or whatever it is, the Washington Crackheads, whatever it is, okay?
Yeah.
I want a name. I don't want to have the Washington football team. It just sucks. I'm sorry. It just sucks.
No, I always actually said, they should go as the Washington Sentinels to represent the Replacements movie with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
I think that'd be dope, It would represent like a good movie back in the day, a great football movie we all relate to. It was a hell of a movie. Sorry. Didn't mean to say that.
No, hell is okay.
Okay.
Plus, they had strippers as cheerleaders, man. You can't.
Exactly. I mean, dude, that movie's classic. So I was like, man, just go with the Sentinels and let's just let it at that. But
yeah, I like that. The Sentinels and go to like you can go to like the Dollhouse here in Tampa. You can go to Cheetahs in Atlanta, and you can get the best girls that have dance moves and say, "Hey, cheerleaders, man." Now, and they'd have to. And here's the other. Okay, actually, I should make light of it because and I will tone it down a bit because the Washington Redskins did negative things to their cheerleaders. Okay, and that is why they had the investigation, and nothing came out about that. So I am kidding about making light of the strippers on the movie, but the Washington football team needs to get their butt in a ringer, and they didn't do it again.
Man, I will tell you this: my brother is a huge Washington football team supporter. It's weird saying that. I always want to shoot the R word out. I do. But on my show, I just say it because I just don't care because it is what it is. I mean, that's who I've always known them for 32 years. I'm not going to stop calling them that just because you changed it. It is what it is. But until Dan Snyder is fired or is forced to sell that team by the NFL, Washington's never going to win another Super Bowl. Like, he is the reason that team is failing. You know what I'm saying? Like, until he's gone, they have no hope at all. He's just going to sink that team to the ground. And I don't know why the NFL hasn't stepped in already and said, dude, you got to go. Like,
They did with Jerry Richardson. They
right?
made him sell his team in Carolina, and I think the only reason why is because I think Snyder has a number that begins with a B. Isn't he a billionaire? Or maybe I'm just being stupid. I know he's got a lot.
Well,
I know Jones
all
is
I know is he gave the team to his wife and to his mom, half to his wife, half to his mom, because he didn't want them taking it from him. But I was like, even if you give half to your wife and half to your mom, we all know who's still running the organization in the end. You know, they're only going to do what he tells them to do. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's trying to do things here and there to get out of it, but it's like, dude, it's a game and it's not even cool anymore.
I got it. Shipmate, I'm gonna move on. I got
No
I got
problem.
about I got about 15 minutes plus the outro. I again thank you for being here. Come in tomorrow night because you can swear your patootie off. But remember on Roku TV, because again I got to show this. We are on Roku TV, so we are watching our language. So that's the way it
Well,
is.
fortunately for you, I know how to be professional. So
I can partner. I can be. I did Armed Forces Network down in Cuba for years. Did 2
that's
hours
cool.
sports shows. I did not swear. I never
Yeah.
even dropped a leaker where I went when one got out. I don't think I did anyway. And if I can do it for the Armed Forces Network, I can do it for my
Yep.
network. It's not
Exactly.
hard. It's not hard.
Nope. Nope.
And,
There's a time to be and a time not to be. But hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
hey, again, thanks again to Shipmate. It's good hearing from you. Come in anytime. And best you remember, it's the Uncensored Eagles podcast.
Eagles Uncensored podcast.
Okay, I apologize. Eagles
No, you're
Uncensored
good.
podcast. And if you want to get some good stuff from good people, and again, you want to hear about the competition because you talk about your team, but you also talk NFC, and we always need to know what's going on in the NFC because we got to play a division each year. This year it was the East,
Yep.
so we need to make sure on that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I talk all 32 teams, man. It's not a problem.
You got it. All right. Well, Shipmate, thanks again. Always a pleasure. You take care.
You too, buddy. Peace out.
Peace out. That was the was it Eagles Uncensored Eagles pod? It's one or the other. Now, okay. I'm going to talk about what Jack Kenna says. By the way, if you want to come into the show, I got about 12 minutes. I'm gonna put up the link again. Remember, tomorrow night I will be doing an uncensored show on YouTube, uncensored. You can watch my Tuesday show, which was being taped. That'll be on Roku TV. That'll be on tomorrow night, Friday night, because it wasn't on Roku TV on Tuesday. It'll be on tomorrow. So that's what's going on for Roku TV tomorrow night. That's Friday night, 9:00 p.m. Eastern on Roku TV. If you're looking for me, it's not Captain Jack Rackham on Roku TV. It is Northeast Streaming Sports. Northeast Streaming Sports. Come on over, find us on Roku TV, and hit us up, okay? And, we were talking about Bisaccia leaving. When he is gone. Well, and again, Jack, that's another thing that we could talk about as well. Jack, if you want to, please come in as well. It's always a pleasure talking to Jack. This is what I want because you asked me and I didn't. Hey, OG can come in. He's not backstage yet. I want OG to come in. But you got to be backstage. Hit the link. If you want to be on, I got some time. OG is not backstage. That's why I just put the links up again. Jack McKenna asked me, oh, he's waiting on a call. Okay, I get it. Jack asked me who I wanted. Oh, there it is. So there he goes. Well, ask and you shall receive. Jack McKenna. I was going to say this to you, but I will say it to you face to face. Face to face. Jack McKenna, welcome to the show. Thank you for being in here, Shipmate. What's going on with you tonight?
Hey, brother. How you doing? I'm doing good.
I'm good. I'm good. Now, Jack, I don't know if you heard, but again, Bisaccia went to the Bears because he wasn't going to wait around. And if I'm a dude that's out of a job and I'm offered a job, guess what? I'm taking the job that's offered, and he's going to be.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he was waiting on a job. The Bears snapped him up, so he is the Bears' new special teams coach, from what I'm reading.
Special teams coach, not even the head coach.
Yeah, no. The Bears hired Eberflus, who was the defensive coordinator. What do you call it? From I can't remember what team, but he was the defensive coordinator. He is now the Bears head coach. He's a lot better than Matt Nagy was. He's a lot better than Mark Trestman ever was. So the Bears upgraded. Okay, their problem is management. Their problem is management, and they're gonna until they can figure out how to do things right. Now they also got a new GM, so that will help things out as well. Their GM was let go. Their coach was let go. They are rebuilding. Eberflus should be a great addition, and I tell you what, Bisaccia's going to help him out because he's got a lot of experience there. You asked me about head coach and GM. I like Dodds. Dodds
too.
Dodds nailed his interview, and he is the best thing that's been through the building. Now, for all those that said that Dodds won't work with McDaniel, okay, Dodds will work with McDaniel. Dodds will work with Harbaugh. I think the Raiders have had enough of the Jim Harbaugh telling them, this is what I want. I want this. Because that's Jim Harbaugh. I mean, I'm doing a great Jim Harbaugh impersonation, except that Jim Harbaugh doesn't have a beard. I'm Jim Harbaugh, and I am God, and I think that I can do everything because I am better than John Gruden. I am the best thing, and I wear my khakis great, and I need to have khaki commercials because, Levi's needs to give me a commercial for khakis, and I'm going to be great in Vegas, and this is what I want. I want total control of the team. And Mark Davis said, whoa, shipmate, we just had that for 4 years. And we were stuck with a guy who thought he was the second coming of God. And I don't care what you think. I will give Mark Davis his due in the fact that he doesn't want to deal with that. And I think that was the main thing that is reason why they're kind of dragging. Now, if Harbaugh comes down off of that, maybe there's still time. But as God would say, a.k.a. Jason Thomas, bye, Felicia. Bye. Now, the one thing that you were talking about that you said that you didn't want is you didn't want a 3-4 defense. And Fangio looks like he's going to be the defensive coordinator in Jacksonville. Okay? So what I want to know is, and do you know, did Wink Martindale run a 3-4 in Baltimore?
Oh, I don't follow Baltimore, so I don't know. But for me, it's like, if I can have any coach I can choose, work out a deal, or if he gets let go, is Tomlin. Tomlin would be the number one choice. Harbaugh is number two. And, I hate to say it, the Raiders blew it if they didn't, they let Rich go. They should have paid him extra money to stay around, even if he's not going to be the head coach, to be the assistant head coach again and run the special teams. He's a leader of men. All the players rally around him. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched all the stuff from Mad Max, but boy, Carr, Mad Max, those guys are supporting him. It's like, I did not know that. That's a letdown. And I'm kind of sad that Mayock went. Did you see the rankings on Mayock's draft? He was rated number 4 this last year, even with, our first round pick, which is all John Gruden's pick.
Well, actually, that was Cable's pick with Leatherwood.
Well, it was Cable, but who picks number 1 is always John G. So,
gotcha. And you know what? Leatherwood, give him some time. I think he will be a fine right guard. Maybe
it can be.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe
he can be
set out to be the right tackle. Okay, so we whiffed there, but you know what? You need good protection in the middle. And Leatherwood was coming on at the end of the year. He was getting it. He wasn't making as many mistakes. He only made one He only had one penalty. Actually, the entire offensive line had one penalty in the Bengals game. They all did, but there were several games that he didn't have a penalty, so he was getting it. He's
getting better. It's like James is getting better, but what people forget is that Miller had a rough first season too.
Exactly.
But now look at Miller now. Miller's looking really good. It's like, he's like one of the top, left tackles in the game. So it takes time. It does take time. It's like there's a bunch of rookies getting thrown together, a bunch of new guys. I mean, it's not like what we had. It's like, if you and I know about like our Raiders centers over the years, going from Otto and everybody else from there. And then
Otto, Dave Dalby, Dan Mospar, and I know I'm probably Barrett Robbins. I shouldn't be.
AKA going to Mexico before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because
Barrett was good.
In Barrett's mind, we won the Super Bowl, and that's why he checked out. And then that was a mental issue, and it's unfortunate.
True. So it's like, James got thrown to the Wolves. So it's just like most of the offensive line. It's like, next year, hopefully we get a right tackle. The Parker's going to be gone. He ain't going to be there no more. Get a right tackle, and then, hopefully, Good can do what he did last year. Just be a swing guy.
Yeah.
Where do you want to play him?
I think Good's going to left guard. I think he's going to take Simpson's place. Simpson could be a swing off the bench, and that's if he even stays. He needs a lot of work. And that's
work
because he was such a great prospect out of Clemson, and he's not doing it. And I think that he needs some more. Both Leatherwood and Simpson need more upper body strength. They need to work out more and to work on their upper body strength because they were getting pushed in. And I ain't going to have, because I got a joke and I'm not going to say it because we're on Roku TV, but I'm just saying. John Vella, by the way, John Vella was a right tackle, Mr. Santiago. He wasn't a center. He was a right tackle. No worry. But I get it. He'll be there. He'll
question for you. I've heard all things about our salary cap next year, 27 million to up to like almost 50 million, depending on what website you read.
Yeah,
what do you get?
About 45 million. I have about 45 million.
I think Littleton's going to be a cut after June 1st.
After June 1st, Kwiatkowski is going to be a cut. And, then we still got a lot of money to go after the people that we want. And I want to make sure I look at the time. I think with McDaniel allegedly coming in, even with Harbaugh possibly, and Ed Winchell says that Harbaugh is a done deal. I don't know. I think it's going to be. I think they're balking at the that what Harbaugh wants. That's what it is.
Well, probably control wise, Harbaugh is like he's a good coach, but at the same time, he burns every bridge that he has after about 3 or 4 years.
Yep, that's true.
But his coaching career did start here.
Yes. In Oakland, and he was Al
quarterback coach,
right? And Al says, you're going to be a Raider, you're going to be a Raider, and I can hear, and may Al rest in peace, for that as well. But I'd love to see Jim Harbaugh come in, but at what price? Not what he's asking. If McDaniel comes in, I can live with that. I want Dodds as my GM. Marcel Reese can be the president of football ops. They can have Dodds come in. I like what I see in Dodds, and apparently Dodds was excellent in his interviews. And if Dodds can work with Harbaugh and McDaniel, that's what I want. Is a GM that says we are getting these guys, okay? And by the way, we need to upgrade our scouting department because they kind of suck.
Well, last year was pretty good. I will admit that.
Last year was good, and those guys are still on staff. So we got them for this draft. We still need to upgrade, though. I
do agree with Dodds. It's like I'm sad Mayock's gone. I would have given him one more year just to see what happens without John Gruden being there. If I could have any coach that I would want is work a minor trade, or if he gets let go, Tomlin is my dream coach for the Raiders.
Right.
I don't see it happen. So I see Harbaugh. I don't want McDaniels at all. McDaniels, like, I don't trust that guy. I don't have any trust for him. You know, you're going to take a job, you get everyone else to move down there to, like, you know, all the coaches you hire gone.
That, like I said, that was not what happened. He was fed a bill of goods, and then when he looked behind the door, it wasn't what people were selling him. So he was given a bill of sale, and he looked behind the cupboard, and there wasn't crap in the cupboard at what people said it was going to be, and he hadn't signed anything. So he said, F this. F this. And I kind of agree with Mike Sarah. I don't think Tomlin's ever going to come to the Raiders. I don't think he's going to come to the Raiders, but we'll see about that.
Yeah, you can only dream.
Yeah, you can dream. I mean, yeah. I like Sean Payton. Sean Payton is my number one guy, and
Sean Payton's number two.
Yeah. See, to me, Sean Payton's number one. Sean Payton's number one. I'm not even putting Tomlin in the equation because I don't think that's ever going to happen. So I'm not even going to discuss Tomlin. Sean Payton, who is now available, is my number one. I still like Brian Flores. I really do. I'd love to have Brian Flores, and he's still out there. He hasn't signed with anybody yet. I think McDaniels, his second go around, would not be a bad thing. Okay, and remember, technically. Was it Belichick? He was on his second assignment, was the Jets for like 15 minutes, and then the next day he said, So technically the Patriots are his third gig, but in reality it's his second gig. Look how well he did with them.
Yeah, well, Bill's amazing. It's like, there's no question. He's an amazing coach. I mean, wow. What he did with the Patriots, you know, and I hate to say it, they started their run against us with the Tuck rule.
I know.
Back in 2002 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't trust McDaniels. I honestly, we should have re-signed Rich over McDaniels because I just don't feel like, you know, he can lead a team. I just don't feel it. I feel like Rich would have done a way better job.
And I'm going to say this because I got to do my outro. What's to say that we said, Rich, this is what we got going on, that we were upfront with the guy. We weren't lying to him. We said, this is what we got going on. This is what we envisioned. And Rich said, thanks, but no thanks. We don't know.
He might have. I mean, if I was the Raiders, you know, if I was Mark Davis and said, I would have given you just much money as almost a head coaching job to be the number two guy and continue your job here. You did an amazing job. You did something that no one's done in 61 years. Intern head coach going to the playoffs. You're a leader of men. They should have made it right for him. You know, honestly, they should have made it worth his while to stay. To pay, I don't care. Pay the same type of money. It just represents, like, you know, what the players love in him. And then if they let Gus go, well, then all the free agent players that we brought over are going to be gone.
Well, and we
Hayward, Bylon.
We will deal with
one
that.
more year after Perryman, then he'll be gone.
But again, Jack, I hate doing this. I'm up against the clock, brother. Thank you for coming in. I got to do my outro and I got to get out of here. I got that.
All right, salute, brother. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, hey, always a pleasure, Jack. Come back in again. Jack,
always.
Love having him. Thank you for being here, folks. Remember, comments after the show. Please do comments because we are interactive here. Love everybody being here. We will be back tomorrow night. You are watching on Roku TV. We will be on Roku TV tomorrow. Will be my Tuesday show. On my YouTube show, there will be an uncensored show. Make sure you are there. Take care, everybody. We will see you tomorrow.